This is probably one of the weirder episodes. And like for whatever reason, right off the bat, I decided I want to redecorate. Or not even redecorate, but just redo paths. And that basically took me the entire day. And I don't know if it's because I'm feeling like a little bit... I don't know what I'm feeling. I'm feeling kind of weird today. Like I'm having a hard time getting motivated. And sometimes when I have that problem, I like to get like some part of my life organized or like cleaned up, you know? So you kind of reestablish that control and feel like more on top of things. And so, I don't know, I guess I just did it in a video game instead of real life. And that kind of helped me like refocus. And maybe that's why. Or I guess, I don't know, I like having, everything in its place, and it's more comfortable, I think, when everything is pretty and like lined up at least, or maybe not pretty necessarily, but like functional or not half completed. Like this little area, I just kind of left ugly for some reason. And I just wanted to take care of that, and I have the time, so now I can do that kind of stuff. I don't know if I like this stone pattern I did, or like the weird mix of like wood up top, stone below. But it's a little late to change that, so I think we're stuck with it. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. I didn't feel like going to the caverns. I didn't feel like farming. Nothing's really quite ready to harvest yet, so I was like, well, you know what? I'll just beautify this section. I've actually been playing another save file that I'm not recording at all, and I'm just doing like it's like still like a hardcore MinMax run because I don't know how to play any other way, but I'm just playing it like, I don't know, normally without having to like worry too much, and that farm's a lot more decorated. I also chose the hilltop farm for it, so maybe at some point I'll showcase what that farm ends up looking like. It's quite a bit further on than anything else is. It's like I'm out of year one already. And so I want to turn it into like a farm that I go back to all the time. And like have a save file that I keep for longer than a month, Like most of my save files are all pretty new, or I'll do something and then delete it. Like this one, like as soon as I finish this run, it will not exist anymore. Like I will delete Chester and his Tater farm, which is just how I play, I guess. But yeah, I want to have one more permanent, and I want to try and get like the living hat, for example, something that I almost never have, except for I think on one save file I've ever played. So yeah, first day, a weird one. I didn't necessarily accomplish anything, but I got a little bit tidied up. Got rid of some extra junk that was just taking up space, and just kind of ran around aimlessly, which was nice for a change. And I still don't have level 10 foraging, I just realized. And that's not that big of a deal. Hopefully we can get it knocked out though before the end of the year. That's kind of one of the last remaining goals, I think. Or the last remaining like boxes to check. It was never like an official goal, but getting everything to 10 is ideal. And then we have our first major starfruit harvest at Ginger Island, which is cool. So we'll do all that. It ends up being like 432 starfruit, which will be more once we clear out all the coffee and finish expanding our sprinklers a little bit more. But for now, 432 is pretty good. With the amount of kegs we have now, I think that's like 2 weeks worth of kegs. And so that's more than enough, And we'll have that every 7 days or whatever, 9 days, 8 days. Either way, we'll have it. And it'll be pretty plentiful at this point. And I've also decided, I'm just going to start selling all the stuff I don't need. I'm going to sell all that. I'm going to sell all the extra pumpkins I have, stuff I know I'm not going to really do anything with yet. Yeah, that's what I decided. And other than that, we're just kind of clearing out random stuff. We'll probably do some big purchases today. I want to buy a bunch of iron ore and a bunch of coal so that I don't have to worry about farming for it anymore. And I can make a ton of slingshot ammo, and I can make a ton of kegs without having to force myself back into the skull caverns if I'm not really in the mood to go there. So we're just kind of stockpiling, I guess, until spring, I suppose. I know we're not going to go into spring, so it's really stockpiling just for show, but normally I guess I would, if I were really doing like a gnarly, like super hardcore money run, I would still be just hitting the caverns a bunch and maybe expanding my farm even further, as well as making Ginger Island into like a honey, a fairy rose honey kind of situation, utilizing garden pots, or I would do like those garden pots everywhere with more starfruit if I really wanted to go wild, because you just do starfruit inside the pots with the 100% retention soil additive, whatever it's called, and that way you just water it once and ignore it forever. And I'm not going to do that, but you can. I probably have to actually on the other like perfection in year 1 save. Also, I don't know, I'm just sitting here still. Alright, whoops. I accidentally left out. I left like a 2 or 3 minute chunk of me just sitting in an inventory there and had to edit it out. Which I guess I should edit all this out, but then it is what it is. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what I was doing. Sometimes I do that. I'll leave in like really weird things. Like I'll look at a video file and I'm like, oh, this day was like 35 minutes long. That's kind of weird. And I'll go back to edit it and I won't notice that I'm paused or just like standing there. And then I exit the game and restart. And that was one that slipped by right there. I only left a very, very small amount in it, but it's weird. I never thought I would really be editing any videos ever in my life, so I never learned really well how to do it. And so I don't know, this has been kind of a cool learning experience. I'm not doing anything like special by any means. I'm just kind of cutting it together in iMovie, but it's still kind of an interesting thing to, like, you learn to appreciate how much work some people put into like even a 10-minute video, you know? Like they might sit and edit out a ton of stuff. Like a lot of the other like Stardew creators, like I know they hire editors sometimes, but a ton of work goes into it, and I never realized it until I like started trying it out. So anyway, we'll get back to that, or get back to like actual Stardew stuff. I don't even know what we're doing or what I was saying. I've gone completely like whatever. At this point, let's see where we're at. So we unlocked the walnut room in kind of the middle of the week. So today we'll have a new like walnut quest or whatever. Key quest. That's a better name for it. And hopefully it's not something that is like not actionable. You know what I mean? Like I really want it to be those dangerous quests, but I'd also be happy if it was something more interesting. Like the last time it was just the gems, or the trade in 4 prismatic shards for 40 gems, which is fine. That one's easy and nice. And we have tons of prismatic shards, so it would be okay, but it's not as much fun. And we're kind of running out of time to get into the dangerous mines. And I was really hoping to be able to do that by the end of the year. It's just one of those things that's really out of my control. It was like, if you watched my like foraging run, foraging like for 100 days, my whole run was like dependent on a fiber seeds quest. And yeah, so we got the exact same thing as last time. And so I'm just going to do the precious stones again. It's easy and kind of a bummer, but you know, you can't control RNG, or at least I don't think you control this RNG in this game. So we'll just let it be. But yeah, in my foraging run, my whole run was like based on getting the recipe for fiber seeds, and I didn't get it, so it kind of killed the run in its tracks right at the end. So sometimes it happens, and sometimes it happens after a lot of time spent, which is kind of a bummer, but it's pretty low stakes too, so not that big of a deal. And also, so I know Tuesday is supposed to be like our wine day, but I think wine technically only takes like 6 days, not 7. Or it's like 6 days and like 10 hours or something. I don't remember what the exact number is. So we might have wine today. Hopefully all of it, maybe not all of it. But it would be nice if we had it all. And I think we're finally going to put a keg by our door so we don't have to check for wine. We just know when it's ready. And so yeah, we got wine. We got tons of wine to do. I don't know if there's a better way to do this. I know this is like the optimal layout for kegs, but on controller it's kind of a pain to like grab everything and refill it. So I don't know if the key is just to use mouse and keyboard, or maybe vertical rows might be better on a controller. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. And yeah, so our other warehouse is mostly done. I'm not sure why those ones are lagging behind. And we still have the 4 missing kegs. So hopefully we'll take care of that too. And other than that, I think we have some pickle stuff today. We are going to sell the gold pumpkins because there's just not enough time left to process all this stuff. And really we should sell the silver ones too, but we'll start with gold for now. That should get us a pretty big chunk of change. And I guess we can do... So like selling the pumpkins, we wouldn't benefit from Pierre, like doing that Pierre exploit I was talking about last episode. Either last episode or earlier in this one. Either way. So there's really no point in trying to do anything crafty with them. I'm just going to sell them. Even though, we don't need the money, but why not? Let's just start stacking some cash. And I do want to get another shed built. You'll notice I destroyed all my furnaces. So I'm going to build a shed in the place of those furnaces. And it's really lazy, but I just bought the wood and the stone while I was here. Even though I already had it, I just was lazy and I didn't feel like going back, so I didn't. And we'll get a shed there. I think we'll do another shed next to it. Or we'll move a greenhouse over. That's something I would be more specific about. Oh, I did make the more kegs, cool. I'd be more specific about that on a more aesthetic focused run, but for this one I think I'm pretty happy just having a little bit of an unutilized space. And then what else are we gonna... Oh, we have a Skull Caverns run tomorrow. And so we kind of got ready just in case we were able to go. I got like some staircases in my inventory. I built a bunch of explosive ammo and loaded that up. Basically in the event that we were able to go to the caverns tomorrow, I would be able to just jump in right away. And luckily we had decent enough luck to do that, so we'll kind of end the episode with a more typical thing and just hit the caverns again. It's we made a ton of money at least. Like from pumpkins alone, I think we made almost 500 grand, which would have been a lot more, like about $1 million, I guess, had we processed everything. But I just am feeling a little bit impatient, so I just sold it. And yeah, here we are, just kind of making our way down the caverns. Same classic strategy, just stair, accidentally place 2 stairs, and then just keep rolling down until we get deep enough to make some money. And yeah, that's it. It's a pretty chill wrap up to the run, honestly. This isn't it, but it's kind of in like a line out like a lamb, I guess, when it comes to min-max runs. You have a lot of snowball effect sort of stuff going in, so the more work you put in the beginning, the less you have to do in the end. And that's definitely how it feels, that's for sure. I wish I would have kept a little better track of my Skull Caverns runs to see like when the best run was, or like kind of what strategies work the best. Because my point now, like at this point, is I'm just burning resources like nobody's business. I'm just launching slingshots, launching staircases, putting bombs everywhere, ditching bombs if like a ladder shows up, and just running. And it's not really efficient, but I just wonder if this strategy pays off better than like pausing, screenshotting the floor, and trying to use like the minimal amount of resources to get the most. Like truly running this in a min-max way. Whereas now I'm just kind of running in the caverns like I'm made of money, you know. Which is a fun way to play, don't get me wrong. And yeah, so we ended up doing pretty well. I didn't actually see the total amount of iridium, but... Oh yeah, and that's like the only time this dude's closed. Or this person's closed. During the night market, the desert shop is closed. And they are down at the docks selling, or not selling, but even just giving away coffee, I guess. So yeah, don't save all your items for these 3 days that he's not there, or they're not there. I keep saying he, I don't even think it's a he. Doesn't matter. It's just, yeah, old habits. And we got another crystallarium. Not that we really need it, but there we are. I'll be back as usual in a couple days, so see ya.